Hey, and welcome to the Pursuit of Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Gina van Delft. I'm a health and mindset coach, graphic designer, and a cat mom. I love conversations that are on a more raw and deeper level. And today's guest is Natasha. Natasha is a high-level mindset coach, feminine embodiment mentor, energetics expert, and wealth activator. She helps coaches and creatives clear receiving blocks and embody inner confidence so that they can raise their prices, attract more high-end clients, and scale their business faster without sabotaging or procrastination. Today's episode, we are going to talk about sacred self-love. What is it? What do we need to do to love ourselves and move forward? Welcome, Natasha, to the Pursuit of Happiness podcast today. I am excited to have you over here because I always say it when I have people over, when I have guests, I always say that I'm excited to have them because I'm truly excited to have people on my show.
Thank you.
Talk today about energy and self-love and everything that has to do with that. So first, can you tell a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, so I'm a high-level mindset coach for women in business. I'm also a feminine embodiment mentor, which is basically helping people really get into their feminine energy, and it's one of the things that has changed my life massively. So I'm really passionate about being a feminine embodiment mentor. I'm an energetics expert, so literally everything energy, everything, I believe everything is an exchange of energy, and everything you do is an exchange of your energy. So whatever we're doing, we're always giving out some kind of energy, and literally everything we do, even having, making ourselves a drink, we can come from a place of love or fear, everything is energy. The sales we make with our clients, even having that conversation at work, maybe with your boss, or whatever it is you're doing, there's always energy involved, and you are always emitting energy. And a wealth activator, that's the other. I literally activate people's wealth. I upgrade their wealth consciousness and activate their wealth, because again, wealth is energy. It's all in your energy, really. And that, again, I do a lot of embodiment work about and literally helping people step into that wealthy person that they want to be, because until they can literally embody it, feel it, be it, breathe it, see it, then it won't happen. So literally I activate their wealth, because we are all wealthy. Wealth is within us all. It's not something that's only for the rich, it's for us all. And by the way, and self-love is the biggest foundation to help you get whatever you want in life. I truly believe self-love is like the rock solid foundation that anyone needs to create huge shifts in their business, their life, and literally take you to every next level. I say there's like every level, new devils, or next level, new devils. And literally, but when you come from a place of love, when you have a rock solid foundation of self-love, those devils, well, you can just like ping them off in any direction, no matter what comes up. And literally, for me, a lot of stuff come up, a lot of past trauma, emotional wounds. Sometimes I don't like to use the word just trauma, because it kind of creates this thing that it was something really big and bad. And sometimes it isn't really big and bad. It's, something happened and we made it mean that like we weren't good enough. And it doesn't mean it was like a huge trauma, but we hold it as trauma within our body. So I tend to like emotional wounds is kind of like the word I tend to use more than trauma. But self-love, healing like emotional wounds. It's so crucial for all that to take you just, if like my life used to do this, it would be up, down, because I hated myself. And literally, so I'd go up and I'd feel really good, and then if something went wrong, that was it. I would just like batter myself all the way down. And I went through boom and bust, started businesses, bust, started another business, bust. And it wasn't until I came out of hospital, and we can go back through this bit in this story a bit more, but when I come out of hospital the last time, I was like, right, I have to find my way to literally have a life where it's just gracefully and I just achieve my goals without the struggle and the, like I say, the boom and the bust. And self-love was my vehicle. And like I now have this, so self-love being more like sacred self-love, that quietness and that really tuning into your heart and your soul, and building a bond with your heart and soul.
I love that you're saying that. So I want to dive deeper more in how you came to that. But first I want to say that in all the people that I've interviewed for this podcast and all the episodes that the listeners have listened, hopefully, no matter what people have gone through, it always comes back to self-love. And you say it, self-love is so important. It's you don't realize how important it is until you actually start that journey of self-love, until you realize that is the only way that will get you back up again. So yes, I absolutely 100%, no, 1,000% believe that self-love is the key to happiness, to health, to wealth, to everything.
It's the energy behind it. It's the frequency of love. I call it the frequency of love rather than. So when I talk about self-love, I also call it the frequency of love, because it's not just about love, self-love, like looking at yourself and going, I love you. It's about trust, kindness, joy, feeling it all within, actually being able to, when you doubt yourself, because we're not, it's not like we're incurable and we're never going to doubt ourselves. We all are going to experience doubt. We can't get rid of that. Things come up, we have difficult choices to make. Shit happens in life. But when you can bring yourself back in, and that we can't stop that. But if you can bring yourself back into this place within your body where you feel love and you feel trust, and there's just the joy, and you can allow that to just really flow out all through your body, that energy, that frequency of love to literally penetrate every cell of your body, then that's when you can literally you open your eyes and you're like, it's within me, it's all within me, I can do this. Like it doesn't matter, I can go through my house could burn down around me. It's like you feel like the phoenix. Literally, doesn't matter what happens, you feel like the phoenix, and you feel like no matter you can rise, you'll always be rising.
I love that you say it.
Like sacred, what I class as sacred self-love and the frequency of love, rather than just doing the bubble bath and
that only works when you really sit with your thoughts. It's nice to have that quiet alone time, but it's not like if you go sit in a bath, put a bath bomb or some nice essential oils or something, it's not that you magically feel better or become better, or that your emotional wounds have healed. You really have to still make an effort and sit with
you have to do it
and question yourself. And exactly. So can you tell a little bit about your own journey, on your own self-love journey? How did you discover it?
So I'm going to go back to like kind of the beginning. So when I was very young, I don't even know where I learned this. Again, possibly like I talk about generational coding, and maybe it's something that I witnessed my mum doing, and so I just picked it up. I was so hard on myself. I literally was so hard on myself when I pushed myself, even from a very young age, like 15, 16, if I didn't win, I beat myself up. If I lost, at sports and stuff like that, if I didn't do very as well as I thought I could on tests, I beat myself up. I literally beat myself up. And for some reason, I always had this feeling like I just didn't belong. Like that whole, grades and doing everything, in school, I never felt like I belonged, and I kind of beat myself up for it. And then obviously I went traveling and backpacking, and I had the most amazing experience of my life. And again, hadn't really learned self-love, but that was one of my up times. And then when I come back, I was like, I again come back to living in the UK, getting a job. I started my own company, but again, it was like, if I didn't do well one month, and I literally worked myself into burnout, into my own grave, basically. I literally was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, at least. That was 12-hour days was my day off. Like sometimes
I know how it feels. Yeah.
I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't go to bed. I would work literally, by the time I'd done everything, restocking shelves, making sandwiches and that for thing. I was going to bed at like 10, 12 o'clock at night, and then up again at 6. That was kind of like my standard working day. And on my day off, I would be doing like 12 hours a day, restocking, doing like the finances, doing the accounts. So I managed to do that for 3 years.
Wow.
Whilst having surgeries for endometriosis, being diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. So again, my body, I directed a lot of hate at my body because I had these like diseases, syndromes. So because I had these things wrong with me, it was, again, I projected a lot of hate on myself, you know, like I was broken, I was flawed somehow, and there was something wrong with me. And again, I ended up in hospital because of my own self-hate, really, like literally, because I didn't see that I needed to give myself rest and, you know, look after my body. I hated my body, so I didn't look after it at all. Yeah. Ate really poorly as well. I barely, you know, I lived off like crappy foods. And then, so at this point as well, my mental health's getting really bad. I'm on a medication. And then when I had my daughter, I got pregnant, which was a bit of a, like, it wasn't planned. I got pregnant, and when I got pregnant, I put on loads of weight. So again, that was like, I hated myself even more. And then it was after I had my second child, and literally I'd battled with dieting. That started then. I battled with dieting. I battled with anxiety and battled depression since I had my kids. Trying to get businesses off the ground as well. Kept failing. And then I ended up in hospital again after my second child, and it was then I remember sitting on the sofa, had just come out of hospital and sat on the sofa, and I'm watching my kids play, and I was like, I was so out of it on the medication to like calm my mind down, because it was just gone crazy. Yeah. I remember sitting there looking at my kids, and I was like, I can either live my life feeling worthless, or I can make my life worthwhile. And that, in that moment, I went, shit, what the fuck have I been doing? Yeah. Literally, it was just like something came over me, and I was like, right, I booked myself into, if you haven't heard of her, Mama Gina. If you don't know her, you need to go Google it. All the listeners, go Google Mama Gina. She is the School of Womanly Arts. She has this School of Womanly Arts. She does an online course, and she has some books. One of her books is called Pussy, and it's like literally, she believes that when you instead of the soul, really it's the pussy. So your pussy is kind of like becomes the ruler of your life. Wow. So I booked myself into her course. I was like, I need to self-love, and it just so she just popped up when I searched self-love. She popped up, so I brought her 2 books. I say booked myself into the School of Self-Love. I literally bought 2 books and started reading them and implemented everything literally that she talked about. I implemented, and I become, yeah. And then I was like, this actually feels good. I actually feel good. And then that's what took me on. I took a course in positive psychology. I then took a course in eating psychology, because I was like, what, you know, I've destroyed my dieting. These are the 2 things I struggled with the most. So I took diplomas in them. And that my educational background, by the way, is in psychology. So by the way, but over all this, it's not like I've got a degree in psychology. I've got a 2-1 degree in psychology. So it's like my mind, I knew I could get control of my mind, but the way I went about it was always like trying to fix and control. Like with self-love, it's kind of more, and that, like I say, sacred self-love, it was more like just coming back into who I was, who I am. Yeah. And that was the whole, the different journey that I took, rather than constantly trying to fix my mind like that was something wrong. Like, you know, like kind of like the standard mindset work, which is like pick out that new belief, be happy, you know, that I am happy and I will be happy. You know, that very kind of like, it's very fixed and rigid, where it's like sacred self-love in the way, like the embodiment of self-love is more fluid and more flowing. And it's more feminine energy self-love than what I would say is more like there's a very masculine side of self-love, which is taught out in the general population, where the way I teach self-love is more like they're the feminine energy side. So just dancing with myself, being with myself, you know, touching my face. I can't begin to tell you how many receptors your skin has. Like your skin, you know, like even with our partners, like it's amazing when they touch us. Yeah, you know, it's amazing when you touch yourself, like literally your face or on your shoulders. We have like points on our body which are like, you know, sometimes it could be for you, maybe it's your ear, your neck, but actually touch yourself.
Some are more sensitive than others.
Yeah, so, and it's just really learning who you are and what you like. And once you do that, it changed my whole life. And then I was able to start my business and grow my business with so much grace and effort. And literally every stage of my business, I have grown my business while a pandemic's on. Bear in mind, I learned all this just before the pandemic, literally. So 3 years ago was when I was in hospital. So I had like kind of like a year to like kind of like a year and a half before I went into lockdown. And I think it was just magical for me, because I was like, wow, I feel strong. And then I was able to give lots back. When I went into lockdown, I gave back. I set up a group just helping mums like who had struggled with anxiety, because I'd done that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to create a business out of this. So
it's amazing what you can do these days, right?
Yeah, and I put all my knowledge together and went off on my coaching journey, which for years I told myself I was too fat, wasn't pretty enough, not clever enough. You know, I just put myself down. 5 years it took me to become, I knew I wanted to become a coach. I knew I wanted to be a coach at the age of 19. And I told myself, well, I didn't know enough. And I actually genuinely believe I was too young at 19. That's why I told myself that I'm too young, don't know enough. I was always going to become a coach. It's always what I wanted to do. But then I was too fat, still not clever enough, not pretty enough. You know, just I was never good enough. Always something. And like I say, so for 5 years, and in that time, like I say, I ended up in hospital because I was pushing myself in dieting, just in general, just in my head all the time. You know, I took about 1 million, by the way, in this time I also took about 1 million different courses, like health coach this, you know, EFT, tapping, hypnosis, meditation. I just did, and I think my brain just went, well, I've had enough.
Yeah,
can't do this anymore. So then I brought it I brought it back into my heart, basically. And now everything I teach is a full embodiment of everything I do. I don't teach anything. Yeah, it's all part of my life. That's the only thing I teach now. That's you know what, that's the easiest way, and it makes it easy. And with, like I say, I'm adding, that's that energy side of it though. If you embody everything, if you're trying to teach something and you don't do it, it's a lot harder. The energetics there make it really hard. Yeah. So if you're teaching and coaching, now it's so easy for me because it's my life. I literally teach people the things that I do. Yeah. And self-love is a big part of that. Sacred self-love is a massive part of that connection with your heart and your soul, going within, feeling, listening, and just trusting. You can only do that when you get quiet. So you can't do that in
But how do you become quiet? Because I know in the beginning of my own self-love journey, I couldn't be quiet because I still had those negative thoughts, and I still, like, obviously you cannot shut down your thoughts completely. I mean, someone who can do that is, I don't know who can do that, but how do you really change that? How do you really start doing that? I know it takes time, and it's not something you can do overnight, and it takes practice to do. But where do you start when you are like, okay, I've had enough of it. I know I need to love myself more, need to be more kind to myself. Like, how do you start that?
Okay, so the first thing that I started with was heart activation breathing. So that is just, and you are so right, by the way. This perception that shutting down our brain is like telling your heart to stop beating.
Yeah,
it's not possible. It's just, that idea comes from monks that are sat there. They've practiced that for years. This is not something that, and by the way, they that's what they do. That is like, that is what they're trained to do. It's like, we are in the where we are with everything that's going on, the noise. Our lives are not made to shut down our brains. And by the way, I've probably only managed to do it, and I feel this is really, like, I was like, oh my God, I did that. I actually got to that point. I've only managed to do it twice. I've been practicing it for like 4 years, and I've only managed to do it twice, where I literally do have a clear mind.
Yeah.
And I had to meditate for probably about 2 hours and do a whole ritual where I danced and kind of clear. Then you get that stage.
It's not going to happen when you meditate for 10 minutes when you wake up. And
no.
It's not possible.
No. So the first thing is heart activation breathing, which is just literally you focus. So rather than focusing on what's in your mind, we focus on just breathing in and out through our heart, just really slowly and just as you're breathing in, literally, like I say, so when you breathe in, you imagine breathing in through your heart, and then you imagine breathing out through your heart, and just set the intention. And I truly believe that intentions are massive, that you're filling yourself up with love, and that you're breathing out love to your life, to you, to anything you kind of have a resentment for, but you are literally sending love out. It might be something, even that thing that, if there is something that's in your mind that pissed you off, you're like, I'm just going to send that a little bit of love. Like, oh shit, I've got all them debts to pay and they're on my head. I'm just going to send that love. So literally, you are just using your heart space to breathe in and breathe out love. And then again, you can, if you're feeling down, you can call yourself into this space and just be like, I'm going to find trust here. Again, it's setting the intention. To set the intention, what is it you feel you need most? Is it, do you need to experience a bit more joy? So just go in there and ask it to, you can ask your heart anything. Show me some joy, like a memory where you felt really good. Show me when I was most proud. You can ask your heart anything and it will show you. Your body is full of wisdom. So I always go in through your heart, because your heart never lies. Your heart is where you'll find your truth. But your body has so much wisdom. And so let's put a negative, say you've experienced you've been triggered by something, and you have a really strong, so like anger. Again, breathe in through your heart and then allow that anger to be with you. Just be like, okay, so, and you can ask again, why did that make me angry? What do I need to understand What do I need to feel? Because when I'm just going into a bit of a zone there, but
Okay.
when we experience emotion, literally I could feel my eyes fluttering there. So that's like, but when we experience an emotion, anger, okay, it might be calling it. We automatically say anger, that's bad, but it's going to have a wisdom. It's going to ask, be like, that's just like an evolutionary response, right? Yeah, get angry.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it trying to tell you? There'll be something it's trying to explain to you.
Every emotion.
And this is again why the energy.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, like, every emotion has information to tell you, so we need to listen to it instead of shutting it down.
Yeah, that's the massive part about like sacred self-love. It is literally going within and knowing that it's not just about, like I say, and I do teach, when I teach my clients, I do teach them about, looking in the mirror, looking at yourself and smiling at yourself and complimenting yourself. That is a massive part of it. But the biggest part is going within and just being like, okay, so what's all these crazy thoughts? Okay, let them go and go, okay, yeah, just see the thoughts. And which ones do we need? Which one's the truth? Because a lot of time your thoughts, when you actually give yourself time, you can go, hold on a minute. Oh, that thought's come up quite a lot. Okay, almost like we take it out. And it's like you inspect it. We're like, okay, so I'm not good enough. Okay, that one used to come up a lot for me, that I'm not good enough. And what I realized was, it wasn't telling me I wasn't good enough. It was like, you deserve so much more. Your desire, what's within you, you're desiring more. It's not that you're not good enough. It's like you want more.
Yeah.
So go get more. And that is the most amazing thing that happens when you actually sit with your thoughts. Because a lot of the time we have negative thoughts, it's because we're not listening to our heart's desires and we're not following our heart and our soul. So when we get quiet and go, oh, what's this actually mean? Then we can start moving forward and with more grace and more power. Literally, you feel power because it's coming from within you. Yeah. And these voices, then them voices quieten down so naturally. It's not like you have to go and quiet them voices down. You don't have to. It's not like then you're not the fixer, like with the hammer and nails. You're becoming open. You're literally and this is what I teach is this is how you open yourself to receive. It starts with you listening to yourself. That's the biggest thing. If you want to open yourself to receive the abundance of the world, the abundance of the universe, it starts with opening to receive your own dialect, your own emotional vocabulary, and that is sacred self-love. Listening, trusting, loving, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you say that. It's absolutely true. So would you say that that's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned, or is there something else that you would like to share, like the biggest thing, or that you would teach your daughter? Like,
yeah,
what would you?
It's definitely I teach my kids. Both my kids know Kundalini. We do Kundalini together, like the meditations. So we're always calling in the universe, and again, that is very sacred self-love. Kundalini is massively sacred self-love to me. Your voice is, when you're chanting, is very powerful and healing. So again, it's that quiet time, you're going within. So yeah, anything that I'm trying to think, the most powerful, yeah, definitely it is all the quiet times, the quietness. And even I do what I call embodied dance. So you dance, but you're in a meditative state. So you meditate and then you move your body. So you kind of move in this meditation. You're kind of, it's I call it embodied dance, but it's a very meditative dance. It's not to pop music. You don't do it to music with lyrics. You do it to music that's just music. Yeah. Just no vocal.
Not like Justin Bieber.
Yeah. use a lot of I think it's like warrior woman music.
Like
there's
sounds.
Lots of, yeah, so it's just sounds. There's one I can't think of her name. She's got, the song is called Medicine Chant, but it's really like Viking-y, pagan kind of music.
I love that. When I listen to that music, I'm so in my zone, and I'm so like relaxed. And so sometimes I put that on, and I'm like, oh my God, like,
okay,
yeah, that's then my little happy place for that moment.
Yeah, well, see, I could spend, I'm not telling you, I could spend my whole life in a meditative trance to like the pagan-y, Viking-y music. I could be in that. And my kids listen to all of it. Another group that I listen to quite a lot are called Deadova. Again, they're very spiritual. If you don't know them, go check them out. So there's Deadova, and then there's a song called The Medicine Chant. They are on SoundCloud. Go and check them out and just listen to it. Set yourself a ritual. This is what I think is, it's giving that space and intention as well. I actually think that's probably the most key, because you can do all this stuff, listen to the music, but if you haven't given it a purpose or an intention, then it becomes it just doesn't mean anything. So you've got to be like, right, this is my time. We are releasing. We're in a space. I'm holding a space of love for myself. The intention is, and think about, what are you giving? I'm giving love to myself. And then what are you receiving? Okay, I want to receive. Or what are you releasing? Are we releasing? Are we, what are you doing here? Set that intention. That is probably actually the number one key, because you can do all this stuff, but if you haven't set the intention to release or to heal in that moment, again, it's that communicating with your body. You've got to communicate with it. It doesn't actually know what to do. Once you get quiet, it's like going, I want to release this anger. I want to release these emotional wounds. Your body starts to give you, like, communicate with you, and it will do the job, but you've got to talk, and you've got to set these intentions, because we can all just meditate. All right, well, I haven't noticed a single bit of difference. And so, yeah, I would say that intention is probably, set the intention to love, to heal, to release, to receive. That is the number one, probably. See how I kind of, that I got back to that. See, that's quite good. That was so good. I had a little chat about that, but so I'm thinking, the number one thing has to be then intention, setting the intention, because without intention, it just becomes like a practice. Yeah. Where if you even just
waiting until it's over, for example, like if
just waiting. Yeah, your body. Music to finish. You've got to communicate. Yeah, you've got to communicate with your body. Like, so when I set my medicine chant dance, I'm always setting it to, and I do this daily, by the way. I have sacred self-love rituals daily. Now, sometimes it's dance, sometimes it will be yoga, but I'm always setting the intention to clear any trapped energy is one of them. Like because we're picking it up all through the day, just the road rage in the car, someone pulls out in front of you, everything kind of like any kind of thing like we don't deal with throughout our day that might annoy us. We've got kids, especially, like every time we have to like go, you've really upset me, but I'm not going to shout. Like, we're keeping that within. So at the end of every day, moving that energy from your body is really crucial. So maybe it's a meditation. I'm always guided. I don't have fixed things either. I'm always guided by what I feel I need to do mostly. It's not like I've got to do that tonight, I've got to do this. It's more
like Tuesdays is yoga, Wednesdays is the dance, Thursday is taking a bath.
It's whatever. And it going with the flow. Sometimes if I'm having like really stressful times, I do a lot of dance.
But dance is good. Like you're moving your body, you get more oxygen into your body, to your brain. Like it has so many benefits to your body.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are secretly, for example, if you're cooking dinner and you put music on, or you're cleaning the house and you put music on, you're going to dance, you are already a lot more happier. So
Yeah, well,
dancing and
I
music.
now do my hoovering with earphones on. I hoover my house now with earphones on, listening to music, because normally that's not medicine chart music. That's normally 90s club classics.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like it's still music. It's still that vibration. It's still moving your body. It's still making you happy.
Yeah, yeah, rather than I don't like that noise. I don't like. Now hoovering becomes one of the most amazing things ever. But again, but dance is really healing as well, and it moves energy for your body. It literally moves energy. But again, set the intention. You've got to set the intention right. We're doing this dance now to move the energy through our body, and be with yourself for a minute. Get quiet for a minute. Be with yourself for a minute. So your body, you can kind of like connect with your body. You're working together then, because if you just put some music on and you'll probably find it a bit awkward. But if you give yourself that like couple of minutes beforehand to set the intention, right, we're going to release. Okay, body, we want to move this. We're going to move any stress, any tension from our body. Then you put the music on. Then you allow your body, like I say, embody dance. So just free, however your body will know what to do. It will move. You will feel called to move here. Maybe it's move your shoulders, maybe a lot of womb space moving, as I call it, so like figure of 8, because as women we hold a lot of our emotional wounds and our stress there. That's why we get bloated a lot, because we hold everything there. So again, moving your hips, but you'll be called, like you'll feel called by your body. You'll feel called or pulled, whichever way you want to look at it, but you'll feel like your body and you are working as one, rather than just going, I'll put music on, okay, it's sort of
I'm like, going to do the like Egyptian.
what am I doing? Like, no, give yourself that couple of minutes to set the intention. So your body, you've communicated with your body. And that's how I kind of do sacred self-love rituals. It's like it starts with that communication. It's always about getting quiet and having that communication, going in, communicating, setting the intention. And again, like I say, even when if you're feeling really lacking trust, it's always an ask for trust. Ask within and set the intention. I want to feel trust. Like, we're going into this and we're going to feel trust. What does trust feel like to me? I want to know, how do I feel when I feel trust? What do I need to understand about trust? What does it feel like to me? And how can I? And then you can just ask. So what's my next step? How can I experience more trust? Not in here, but out there. You'll get the answers.
True.
You will.
I mean, it works both ways. If you ask constantly, what's wrong with me, you will get the answer. If you ask like, why is this happening to me, you will get the answer. So it also works for the positive things. We have to question ourselves all the time. Our thoughts they can hold us back a lot. But if you ask questions, you will get the answer and you will move forward.
Yeah, so ask, and that is right. So I didn't realize that you've just explained a bit like, don't go in asking about the problem, ask for the positive, because ask for the answer. Because that's ask for the answer you want is not why am I like this, what is my problem. The answer you want is, how can I get over it? How can I move forward?
How can I fix it? What do I need to do to feel trusted? What do I need to do to feel loved? What do I need to do to, you will get this, and maybe not straight away, but it will get to you.
It will come. Like, the more, like you say, the more you make time for like these sacred self-love rituals and connecting with yourself, in the beginning I started with 10 minutes before I went to bed. Now I do 2 hours a day. like my journey, my sacred self-love practices have grown.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, all you need is 10 minutes before bed. That's
Instead
it.
of
And
scrolling
then
on your phone.
just 10 minutes before bed, 10 minutes before bed, just go and get quiet. And it, you know, that's it. And you will find, and especially if, as business owners on here, you will find that actually when you start to get the answers, you will love it. You will love being in that state of like sacred self-love time, and these rituals will become such a deep and meaning part of your life. I literally, like I say, they grew. Now I'm, like I say, I'm on 2 hours a day of sacred self-love time, as I call it. Yeah. But it's what makes my business easy, from my post, writing my posts, to creating courses or creating programs. I don't ever use my head. I just go, it's all inspired downloads, it's all intuitive, it's all from within. Yeah. And unless I made the time for sacred self-love, really connecting within, I wouldn't get any of it. I'd probably still be head banging my way through my life and my business with nothing, not really anything to show for it. So yeah.
Awesome. So if people want to work with you or want to learn more about this, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, so depending if you are an Instagram fan, on Instagram you can find me as Natasha Adlem, or Wealth and Worthiness Activator. That is my heading. I think the links will be here.
I will put it in the description.
The links will be there. So there'll be my Instagram link, and then you can DM me on Instagram or come and follow me. Instagram, let me say, if you want lots of fun, I do reels on Instagram. I go live on Instagram. I've got my IGTV and I do reels over on Instagram. So if you want to catch me where I'm probably most able to be myself because of the way Instagram is, get on Instagram. I also have my Facebook group, which is Personal Growth Queens, or Women in Business, Mindset, Confidence and Self-Love for Success. In there again, that is a community. I do a training every week. We do sacred self-love every 5 weeks. I think we have a sacred self-love ritual where we do card pulls, and I literally do sit with you and do like a sacred self-love ritual. So it's brilliant. But I also do like breath work and meditation every week. There's always breath work and meditation every week, but just not sacred self-love. That's every 5 weeks. I think I run through so that's my Facebook. My normal Facebook is just my name, Natasha Adlem. You can find me on there. You can friends request me. And at the moment, I am my sales page. I've got the link for my sales page will be going live. So the one thing that I am concentrating on at the moment is my new program, which is the Energy Vortex, which is my monthly subscription. So that you get once a month, you get like a soul and strategy training. So this is for women in business, or for women actually who want to get their business off the ground. Maybe you've got an idea and you are overwhelmed by everything and you're kind of frustrated maybe that you're not getting anywhere. This is for you, and this is like a minimum of 6 months, but you could be in it for 12 months. And we are literally, I'm going to take you through everything. The energy, it's called the Energy Vortex, and I will take you through the energetics of everything from mind, body, heart, soul, business, and money. That is how literally this is going to run. So there is literally the energy of everything, and it will just keep. And then also all the strategy, so your niching, your messaging, your vision, because these things as well, they come from within. Rather than trying to get them out of your head, I will help you get them from within. And then I will, like I say, there will be a three days on Voxer where you can literally ask me any questions, and I will do once a month in-depth training.
Yes. Okay. Well, I want to thank you a lot for this conversation. It was a lot of fun. And I hope that people understand more.
at least have a different way of thinking about self-love. Like self-love doesn't have to be lighting a candle and sitting in a bath. It's so much more than that.
Yes, it is. And it doesn't, self-love is not it's not about looking at yourself and thinking you look beautiful, or even thinking you look good, or even, it's not about that. It is literally creating a loving bond with your heart and your soul. That is the way I see self-love. It's not forget the skin, the human body that you're in. It's creating, self-love is about loving your heart and your soul, that, and everything that comes out of that. So your desires, your dreams, your passions, your values, that's what is self-love is all about, not the skin that's here, even though it's very good to touch. Promise you, when you're all to do this, if you're watching, listening, not watching, maybe watching, but just touch your skin on your face, just really touch it, and just feel the energy that it creates, the tingling that you get when you touch. Just close your eyes and touch your cheeks up and down. It's just, there's energy within you. Know that you are just this massive magnetic field of energy. When you love yourself, when you show yourself love, like your heart and your soul, that radiates, that literally comes out of your skin. It's like, oh, you can't help it. If you want, and this is what, if you want to attract more clients, if you want to make more money, and if you want to do it with grace and power, self-love, literally creating that bond with your heart and soul will make a massive difference, will hugely help you, like I say, make a massive difference.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I really loved everything that you said.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you found a new way to love yourself or have a new perspective, because self-love seems about to be the theme around here. But that's only because it is so important. If you have any questions, click the link in the description, contact me, contact Natasha. We are here to help you. Again, thank you so much for listening, and talk to you next time.